Harry's Wife, Part 103.3. Let's give her what she deserves. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, continuing to educate you about narcissism. What do you think that Harry's wife deserves? I'm sure you'll share your observations in the comments section. Do you think that she should be placed across your knee and her body given a smack? Do you think that she should be stripped of her title? Do you think that she should be banished from all publications, talk shows, chat shows, film and television? Do you think she ought to be institutionalized? Do you think that she ought to be given a real telling off? Do you think she ought to be hit about the face with a frozen cod of logic? Who knows? Of course, you should be able to interpret all of those proposed responses through the three interactions with the narcissist to determine what's actually going on. Nevertheless, talking about what she deserves brings me to The Spectator and an article by Julie Burchill. The headline reads, "Let's give Harry's wife the applause she deserves. Her performance now verges on the admirable." What is this? Julie Burchill recognizing that Harry's wife deserves some applause. Does she recognize that actually there is much to enjoy when it comes to Harry's wife, much to admire, perhaps much to take away from her? Well, there's only one way that we're going to find out, and that is by jumping into the article to see what it tells us about Harry's wife and also, of course, her narcissism. The late actor Christopher Plummer once likened working with Julie Andrews on The Sound of Music to being hit over the head with a big Valentine's Day card. Reading the latest bulletin from the Duchess of Sussex, the image returned unbidden. Having to listen to the ceaseless stream of platitudes that this bad actress expels verbally into the world is like being hit over the head with an inspirational poster. Live, laugh, love, until one loses the will to live, let alone laugh and love. Interestingly, I recall seeing a comment from one of my valuable viewers saying that they half expected that would be the next fridge magnet platitude that she would come out with. Live, laugh, love. Harry's wife thinks that she's clever, of course. Harry's wife thinks that she's an academic. Her behaviour and her outpourings demonstrate that she's anything but that's not going to hold her back, is it? Of course not. She's got nothing to say, but you're all going to hear it because she thinks that she's got plenty to say. Of course, that's when she's silenced, except she's not, because she's never silent at all. She's always blathering on, pumping out her beige witterings taken from those fridge magnet platitudes, which she honestly does think this, she's being utterly original, unique, and inspirational. Whether it's character trait acquisition, where she's plagiarized quotes from other people, see parts passim, or simply coming out with some word salad, she truly believes that she has matters of moment to tell you all about. Nevertheless, let us get back to the article. But whereas we might once have loathed her, so shameless is the aging starlet in pursuit of income, insight, that her performance now verges on the admirable. Reading her interview with Variety, such an obvious choice for someone who categorically claims that they are done with a showbiz career, hypocrisy, it was hard not to feel that one was expiring in one of those grotesque Willy Wonka-esque American sweet shops which plague our nation, stifled with marshmallows, drowned in caramel, and beaten around the head with candy canes for good measure. Harry's wife doesn't gush. Her level of smarming is far beyond that. She oozes. Indeed, as an aside, she reminds me of a suppurating wound where she exudes. She doesn't gush, she doesn't talk. She exudes and oozes that syrupy, sugary facade. Returning to the article, the bombshell interview with Variety is actually a love bombing. Laughing apparently kicking her legs with childlike excitement, and claiming that her and Harry's love story had inspired the world because people love love. She resembles nothing more than a travelling salesperson talking up snake oil to a sceptical crowd. She must know by now how much people dislike her, in particular for making the Queen's final years so troubled. But even that relationship is now refracted through the lens of Insta-Inspo. What's so beautiful is to look at the legacy that his grandmother was able to leave on so many fronts. Certainly, in terms of female leadership, she is the most shining example of what that looks like. I feel deep gratitude to be able to spend time with her and get to know her. I've reflected on that first official engagement that I had with her, how special that felt. I feel fortunate, and I continue to be proud to have had a nice warmth with the matriarch of the family. Of course, as I pointed out in parts passim, that's a revision of history. Her contrary nature is coming to the fore, and it's so flaming obvious. The article continues, of her friends, the power of sisterhood and female support can never be underestimated. Of herself, part of me is just really trusting, really open. Of any actress who plays her in a drama, I hope that in preparing for that role she finds the softness and the playfulness and the laughter, the silliness. I fully expected her to add, I'm just a hippie at heart. And of course, no modern Marie Antoinette's crib sheet is complete without the obligatory reference to how much she enjoys fast food. In this case, it's In-N-Out burgers and chocolate chip cookies the size of my toddler's head. If Harry's wife can provide content on this level, creating a character we love to hate on a level with an Alan Partridge or a David Brent, or a deluded show business buffoon comparable with Count Arthur Strong, throughout the coming winter of discontent, maybe we should at last just cave in and award her the applause she craves, because comedy gold such as this does not come knocking every day. Now, of course, Julie Burchell's scathing sarcasm comes through. Harry's wife has no sense of humour. She thinks she has, but you can see in the Variety interview that I have dissected, her laughter is false. It's forced. And invariably when she laughs, nobody else does, because she simply can't read the room, because she has no emotional empathy. And her narcissism isn't skilled enough at substituting for that in the way that a more evolved narcissist such as I can do so. Harry's wife is a figure of ridicule. Not only is she disliked for her behaviours, and you've got a list as long as your arm in terms of what you can reel off to explain why she is disliked, but also she's ridiculed. Because she's gone from not only engaging in behaviours that people think that's despicable, disgusting and downright awful, but they now shake their heads at how preposterous she is, how up her own backside she is, how she is that legend in her own lunchtime. The crap that she spouts, the platitudes that are fridge magneted, the syrupy recollections which bear no resemblance to what's actually happened, all of it now makes people just think you are utterly deluded, and it's comical. Labelling her as a comedian when she doesn't tend to be one, of course, is challenge fuel, and she will hate it, because she thinks that she's a person of substance. She believes that she has gravitas. She believes that she is this bananitarian, the next president of the United States, the Queen of California. She has no substance. She's a clown, a figure to be ridiculed, and her narcissism doesn't realise that each and every time she lets her gums flap, all she does is give everybody else more material with which to ridicule her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.